fickle. They're fickle.
Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host, the most Renaissance man, who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the Yard of Streams for another edition of the Raw Rewind, presented to you by Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show, where we take no nights off. It's not just me, Patty P, here in the Yard of Streams. I am joined, as always, by the best of the West. You can't forget about Sara Marshall. What's popping, girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
It's going. You know,
It's
going.
Okay.
I'm kind of bummed because I'm going to be out of town this weekend. I'm going to miss the Patriots-Titans game, so I'm kind of bummed about that.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
I know.
That game's gonna suck. Just because
it's a bad game to miss. I feel like
suck.
No, it'll be good for us, hopefully.
Well, yeah, obviously, I thought well past that.
Yeah,
but just the Titans, and there is a little bit of rivalry there.
I mean, maybe they just fired their head coach, so
yeah, Brian Callahan.
That would have been maybe like a little bit more rivalry-ish, because obviously Vrabel would kind of want to stick it to the guy that replaced him, but they can still do that.
They absolutely still can do it. He can stick it with the front office.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy to me that they let him go after all the success that he was bringing them. Like, the Titans were a playoff team.
I know they eliminated us from the playoffs in Brady's last game.
Logan Ryan picked them off. Yes. Yes. Sara, ingrained in my mind. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate that shit. But, they're getting their comeuppance on Sunday. Hopefully. I mean, Sara, I'm just going to spoil the chat here. But where is it? Sophia did say it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she agrees with us. The Patriots are number one in the division, which I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect it this year. I did not expect to see it this early on, for sure.
Yeah, I think I think it could last for a little bit because the Patriots have an easier schedule. But I'm not I think people are jumping to conclusions like pretty early. Like, they're like, oh yeah, the Patriots are going to the playoffs, they're going to do this and that. I'm like, I'm just here for the ride. I just want to see them do better and look like, be a fun team to watch again. I'm not going to look too far ahead. It's exciting that they're number one because I love to see the Bills lose, but
you're irrational. You're being rational.
Yeah, I don't,
there's not a lot of that.
Yeah.
Here in New England. Just listen to sports talk radio.
Oh, yeah.
My friend Dan Ball control callers. It's so funny.
That's why I feel like I deserve to have a radio show in Boston, because I feel like people would listen to me.
You could.
I mean, simply because I feel like I just talk about them normally. I'm not going to give you a hot take. I'm not just going to be like, Drake May sucks. And I'm only saying it because I want a reaction. I'm not going to say stuff like that.
You could be a good baiter, though, for callers. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, because people are mad at what I'm saying.
Exactly. So just
but for the opposite reason, because I'm not being super negative.
Yeah, that's doesn't matter what your point of view is. You just poke the bear.
Yeah.
I do. It's the fucking best.
But anyway, I'm also excited that wrestling is not going to be in Perth anymore, because
what's that? It fucked up my whole schedule.
Yeah, only because of the time, the crowd and stuff. I don't mean that, but the fact that it was on at 5 a.m. for me is not ideal. So, I guess the only good thing is that we had the option of watching it, when we wanted to, rather than having to wait until it's live for us. So that was nice, but definitely not great when it's if you wanted to watch it live and not have the show completely spoiled, you needed to wake up at 5 a.m.
Sarah, this was what fucked me up. Was the show being on 8 to 11 was fine because I didn't need to check for spoilers or worry about checking and checking spoilers because I was at work. Like, I can't be in that world while also selling fish, literally drowning. But so after my lunch break comes up, like, day's good, I go to watch it. They made it so fucking impossible to watch it on ESPN. I'm pretty. Maybe it was where I was in the Wi-Fi, but it kept taking me to the same page.
Oh.
Whatever. Like, it was bullshit. It wasn't just like the log on to Peacock like usual. So that really peeved me. And then I couldn't. Whatever. Didn't get to watch it. I'll hand up. I'll be honest. I didn't get to watch it. You know. So we are gonna watch AJ Cena maybe on Thursday for when you're gone, but
yeah,
you know, a little beforehand. But we'll figure it out. We got fun shit to do here and there. So, but yeah, and on top of that, I went to Bound for Glory, which Sarah, I'll talk more about on Thursday, because that's more the space for it. But no, it's not. You're not going to be here. What? I just went on autopilot.
You could still talk about it if you watch.
Well, I am going to
watch TNA.
Great. Yeah. Well, I am going to talk about then, but I want to talk about it with you because my autopilot just went on. That's why I went into that. It was awesome to the point where I want you to watch TNA weekly because that if you've been on a peep of the show for however long, 3 years it's been, you know that I've been trying to push you to watch the alternative. You know, watch the entire show. And you did when we were in Vegas with Collision and Dynamite. You enjoyed it because they were killing it at the time. But with TNA, it's different because TNA is such a micro version of WWE. Like, it keeps that wrestling show without going into big brain. You know what I mean? Like, or big like sports entertainment, like pop culture, all that. Like, it keeps that wrestling show feel, and they are doing everything right when it comes to building stars, you know, giving, you know, the talent time, all that. Like, it's so good. And the stars they have too are really good. I thoroughly enjoyed Bound for Glory.
It was a long show too.
It was, but it didn't feel long.
Yeah, which is good. Because
it was very good.
You're enjoying what you're seeing, you know?
Oh, it was awesome. Like, the Hardys, Dudleys was what it should have been. You know, because you won't be here, I'll let you know now. That is my lemon. The people calling out that match for not being an instant classic, or, oh man, they couldn't have ran it back like they did. It's like, no, they can't run it back like they did. It was 2000.
Yeah, they're also 50 like 50 years old. Yeah.
Like, when you go to see Sarah, you're going to a concert this weekend. I'm gonna do a great example. Not this one specifically, but I'll go a little older. Okay. So, trying to think of a little bit. Okay, good one. Say NSYNC comes back one last time. They're gonna do one more show. Okay. Do you want them to start doing new stuff?
No.
No, you want them to play the greatest hits. You want them to play Bye Bye Bye. You want to hear them. Name me some NSYNC songs.
Tearing Up My Heart, Pop.
Yeah, Space Cowboy, like whatever. You don't want to see them try new things, and you don't want to see them try to be what they were years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is exactly what the Hardys and Dudleys was. Is that they went to the wheel of standard like tag team wrestling, tornado tag, yada yada, quick into a spot of Jeff taking a swanton outside the ring. Oh, Devon goes through the table, and then you have Bubba in the ring. Bully Ray, sorry, in the ring. He's got the table set up. The Hardy Boys are behind him with chairs. And Bully Ray realized that Devon isn't getting up. He was put through the table. He's all alone with him. The symbolism there is incredible. by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he just surrenders. He just says, take it. And instead of the Hardy Boys going at him with the chair, they drop the chair, they put him through the table. 1, 2, 3, it's over. They didn't need Bubba to put, Jeff through a table or fight. Like, they didn't need that tension. They just needed to be that.
Yeah.
That the Hardys win because the Hardys are still going.
Yeah.
Bully Ray, it's it. All right, great symbolism there. And after the match was even better because the Dudley Boys retired right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
They took the boots off in the ring. The crowd was going ballistic.
Mm-hmm.
That video is, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna rewatch that for a long time. Like
Yeah.
that's such a powerful thing that you don't get to ever see. I don't care where you are.
Well, you don't often get to see people choose their retirement in wrestling.
Exactly, you don't.
So that's always cool.
You never know when your last match is going to be in wrestling. And the
Mhm.
fact that sometimes you are able to choose it is a special thing. And for them to choose it against their biggest rival of all time, it was a
Mhm.
big thing. So it was fantastic. I will say Leon Slater, Javon Evans was fantastic as well, except for fucking Dark State poking their finger into it. If you want it, like Sean Ross Sapp says it best. He had like a 5-minute video on Twitter about it, which I would highly recommend checking out. It made no sense. The entire finish made 0 sense.
Mm.
Why have an overtime if there's going to be interference by Dark State of all people?
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah, usually you're the one asking me these questions and of hold on, let me reverse that because I got ahead of myself. I felt like when you and I argue sometimes, you're like, when I say, oh, they're building something more, and you're like, oh my God, like you always say that. You always say that. He said that about people's comments about it, trying to defend it. Well, like, oh, they're building to Halloween Havoc. And usually that'd be my gut reaction, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And even I couldn't be like, yeah, they're right, No.
That's a first.
It wasn't. You had the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
The live show. TNA's biggest crowd, 7,000 people. They're WrestleMania. There's no reason to then go and have a false finish or dusty finish, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
into then going on to WWE programming and making it a clean finish for them to reap the benefits from.
Yeah.
It made 0 sense. Even them, like, oh, you want to protect Javon, the WWE guy, and you don't want to just have the WWE guy pin your talent. Who cares? They're both the 20s.
Yeah. They're so young.
They're going to fight against each other for a decade, hopefully more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was the beginning of what we could see be potential classics, trilogies, like, you don't know.
Yeah.
So why the hell are you going to spoil? Like, that really picked. I flipped. I was right there. Flipping the bird.
Well,
I lost my voice just then, and I lost my voice on Sunday. Ugh. But anyways, that was my strongest feelings about the show. I mean, the other big strong feeling kind of goes on the similar vein of the finish to the main event, Santana versus Trick Williams.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as passionate because Santana won. We all got what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
A TNA contract superstar is the world champion. And who's better than Mike Santana right now? Great. Awesome. My only peeve is that the finish was completely overbooked.
Mm.
You had the call your shot winners in Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth.
Hey, I was half right with that, by the way.
You fucking serious?
I picked Nick Nemeth. Yeah.
So
I was half right.
So my only loss of the incorrect of the entire weekend was actually you being. That's crazy. So as a brand, we crushed.
Yeah. because I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna pick Nick Nemeth, and then I saw that he was like a co-winner, and I was like, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, Sarah, I that's something to hang your hat on. I got to give that to you. That's something right there. Hang that hat on.
Yeah.
'Cause that's pretty good. I got to give that to you.
Thanks.
We've been rambling on here. I love it though. I love the energy that we're bringing here. All right, only good vibes to the show. To Raw Rewind, no nights off. Let's hope the peeps bring us those good vibes as well. We got the final boss here. Sophia already gave us her fantastic comment about the Patriots being numero uno in the division. Nathaniel has the Mariners winning the World Series. I love what I am seeing from them, but next year my Yankees will start a dynasty.
Oh, Nathaniel.
You know what? Good for you to live in that
Keep
Delulu.
dreaming. Sweet child.
Big dumper. What is it? Big dump. Cal Raleigh is the man. He should win MVP. 100% agree with that. Nice week in the NFL. Panthers did beat Dallas.
That was crazy.
Which awesome. Oh,
and then they're still like, we're not sure that we're gonna have Rico Dowdle be the starting running back. I'm like, he literally just got like 146 yards or something.
Carried the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bernard's loving it. We love to see it. We love to see Bernard in the chat as well. Yes, Dickie, we are going to get to the ending of Raw.
Actually,
we're going to start with it. I think it just makes sense. I think it just makes sense. Because it made zero sense until you read deeper, in my eyes. And then a lot of AJ Cena stole the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think I stole the weekend with going 5 for 5. Or we both did because we had the same predictions.
Yes.
Usually, yeah.
I just got like a half a point more because I picked Nemeth.
Did you pick everyone I did for TNA?
I think.
You picked Trick.
No, I didn't. I picked Santana.
Okay. I am surprised too that they didn't call Shotzi. I mean, yeah, she's in MLW, but like you.
I don't know. I feel like Shotzi. I'm not a fan.
Danny Luna did. She ran the gauntlet. Danny Luna is that's a bandwagon I'm hopping on for next Knockouts World Champion. Stallion. Just love her. Yeah. All right. Everything else is going to pretty much spoil it. I don't know who Brooke Havoc is, but she's gone too. I would have liked to see where's the other comment. I do want to highlight it. I can't find it, but it was Dakota Kai. I would have liked to see her because I love Charlie Girl. Anyways, Sarah, take us away. Where are we starting?
All right. So obviously people are talking about it in the chat. So we're going to talk about it first because I think that's the biggest thing that people are talking about from Raw. And that is the demise of the Vision. My immediate thought when I saw this, because it was the first thing I saw when I woke up, because it was Sunday or Monday morning and I had to check Twitter because, of course, it's part of my job. So I saw that, and I think everyone had anticipated when the Vision got together, you're like, okay, we already know how this is going to go. Like when they eventually break up, you knew that it was going to be Braun and or Bronson are going to turn on Seth. I think that the biggest thing was that this happened so fast. I don't think that people were not anticipating it happening only, 6 months after they became a thing. I think people were probably, at least for me, I was thinking about it like maybe around Mania or something, or it happened at Mania, because I feel like that would have been like this gigantic moment. Maybe if Braun was the reason Seth lost the title to CM Punk or something, you know what I mean? Like that would have been pretty epic. But that's not how it happened. We saw them turn on Seth at the end of the show. But as I say in the banner, there were hints of it throughout the show. I wouldn't say there were hints leading up to the show. They seemed like a unified group before this, but then obviously they had it, with like the looks that Braun kind of had been giving Seth throughout the show. Some people are even saying that maybe he was a little bit pissed off about Seth asking him to tweak,
Yeah.
But what was your general reaction to it?
I'm so happy you brought like this was the banner because this was my immediate reaction after the opening segment. Like something's off here. Yes, it was spoiled for me before I even woke up. You know, didn't even get a chance to turn on Raw.
Yeah.
You know, so weird, very, very weird. Like, why is this happening? And then you watch the show, and I'm only gonna talk about my feelings. Show, not what we know now. The show itself was weird because it felt that they were highlighting Braun and Bronson in such a different light. Like they ran the ship, which is usually something they have not done. They've always been the, you know, kind of the dogs, pun intended, really. Like they've been the dogs, the hungry dogs that have been doing his Seth's dirty work. But it felt like everything they did was because they wanted to, not because Seth told them to do it.
Well, and I mean, I think that Bronson joining the group was kind of sketchy anyway. Like, as much as we loved it because we like Bronson Reed, it didn't feel like he necessarily needed to be in a group with a leader. You know, he was already doing things on his own. It's more so made sense with Braun because it was like he's young, he's not been on the main roster that long. Like, he could definitely be a Paul Heyman guy and that'll work out, you know? But I do think that he's come a long way in just 6 months. I mean, he obviously still has things he can get better at because I think people's biggest gripe with him is his mic skills. However, he has Paul Heyman. So, like, that's not an issue. And it is what it is. I think that there's a lot of suspicion about why they seem to fast forward this. And the main talking point right now is that Seth is hurt. The rumor is that when he did the coast to coast headbutt to Cody at Crown Jewel, he landed on his shoulder. I saw it when I watched it. But you know, unless it's like a visual injury, it's really hard to know when they're just selling or when they're legitimately injured, you know, unless you can physically see a break or something, you know, it's like you don't really know.
You don't know. No, you don't know.
And he wasn't really like favoring that arm or anything for the rest of the match. So I mean, I don't know that it's obvious. And we know there were pictures that surfaced of him after the show in a sling. But the person who posted it seemed to imply that Seth wanted the photo to be taken, as if he like wanted the photo of him in a sling to circulate. So it's like there's more speculation about like, is this a work? Is it not a work? I think if you really look at it, it doesn't really make sense to be a work. I think that, I mean, it would fit the vibe, but I also feel like it doesn't benefit anybody.
It's not a work. It's being speculated that he has a torn rotator cuff.
I know, and that just sucks like so bad because that means he's going to be out for at least a year, probably.
He'll miss Mania.
Yep, and my worst dream will probably come true, or worst nightmare, and that's CM Punk being champion, and I don't want it. I absolutely do not want it. So,
I want it.
I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, what about another guy?
Let's
see. What about the guy on my screen right now?
I don't know who that is. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Well, CM Punk became the #1 contender on Raw. So,
Sarah, spoiler alert. Now people aren't going to watch the rest of our show.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll watch it. We'll talk about it, but you know what I mean. Whatever. You've had like 36 hours to watch. But anyway, I mean, it'll be interesting because it really depends on what happens, right? Because like, yeah, he became the #1 contender, but if Seth can't wrestle, then he's just going to have to forfeit the title. That doesn't mean that whoever the #1 contender is just gets automatically handed the title because you never beat the champion. So it feels like it would be another situation kind of similar to what happened with Naomi, where like technically you could argue, you know, Stephanie was the #1 contender because she had won the tournament to get her match at Clash in Paris. But obviously, because she had to forfeit the title and Naomi had already said, all right, I'll let Io have this match, they had to face each other. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is something that comes down to being like, okay, CM Punk is the number one contender, but he's going to have to face LA Knight for the title, you know?
All I'm
That's
saying,
that's going to be problematic though. Because like, how do you
this.
argue against LA Knight winning the title
Oh, you can't.
in favor of
You
Punk?
can't.
Especially.
I have a wild theory of what they could do.
Geez.
So CM Punk is number one contender. He's been feuding with the Vision since its inception. CM Punk goes to challenge. Seth's like, I can't wrestle. Like, guys, I'm not joking. Like, I can't do it. So he walks away. But Paul Heyman's like, whoa. The World Heavyweight Championship
Makes
belongs to the Vision.
Mm-hmm.
It does not belong to Seth Rollins.
I'm into that because I think Braun being champion, like, although some would argue, people are already arguing that it would be too soon for Braun. I don't agree because he was a multi-time NXT champion, and this would only, it is a slippery slope in the sense that people like Braun Breaker. So if they're going to want to try and push him as a heel, it's going to be a little tricky because he's not getting that type of reaction from the crowd. I mean, Seth really wasn't either. So I don't know what they could really do. However, it could I would be into seeing a Braun Breaker versus CM Punk match. Like, that sounds sick to me. You could throw LA Knight in there too.
You could have LA Knight versus Braun Breaker for the world title. You could have LA Knight versus CM Punk for the world title. Mm-hmm. These are the options now, Sarah, that we have if Seth Rollins has to relinquish the title. And in many cases, Seth Rollins relinquishing the title would be a disaster. It would be terrible. Who are they going to put it on? Mm-hmm. All this.
They need a heel
champion. We have options.
They need a heel champion, though. I cannot deal with two babyface champions right now. I cannot have a squeaky clean CM Punk and a squeaky clean Cody Rhodes as the champions. They do not have enough of a heel roster to support two babyface champions.
Which is why, Jey Uso has been teasing that little heel.
Yeah, well, fuck that guy. I don't care about him.
All right. Well, it's something that you might care about. I want to ask this before we get. Yeah, that's great. He can keep losing, but he's going to keep eating. Yeah. I want to bring this question up before we get to the next topic.
All right.
I want your thoughts. I heard this on CVV, and he brought it up. In 1999, the WWE Championship changed hands 11 times.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want? I'm not asking, do you want to see it change 11 times this year? But would you rather that type of flow of the championship in this era that we're in right now as compared to the dominant reigns that we had with like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes for a year? You know, if you want to go to the Cena, when he first got it and went to Raw, Triple H, the Reign of Terror with the World Heavyweight Championship, or are you more on the let's see this guy hot potato?
I think it's funny because I think you asked me this a couple weeks ago. So I kind of like something in between in whatever that is. I don't really want to see a Roman Reigns reign ever again in my lifetime. I never want to see that again. I think Cody having the title for a year after beating Roman Reigns made sense given who he beat and what it took to beat him. I feel like they needed to keep that pedigree of the title relevant because they couldn't just, have everybody on the whole roster couldn't beat Roman Reigns. And then finally Cody did. And then he loses the title a few months later. Like, I think that would be a huge disservice to that entire story.
Yeah. And Cena had to beat him to get it. And that's who John Cena is. Okay. Yeah. No,
so I think, in that instance, it's whatever. But I do think that there's like a nice medium between hot potato and too long. And I think that they just need to do it in a way that makes sense for that character and for the story. I do think that they have a lot of people who you could argue deserve to be a champion right now. So having it tossed around a little bit more would be kind of nice, but you also don't want anybody to lose it prematurely or win it prematurely. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's really a hard balance to try and figure that out. But I do think that there needs to be some change up because I think that whatever they're doing on SmackDown, people love Cody. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I do think people are kind of tired of his reign, even though he hasn't even been around as champion for very long because he was away for like 6-7 weeks as champion. But I think they just need to, I don't know. It just has to make sense to me. If it makes sense for them to only have it for like 2 months, like a Jey Uso title reign, sure. Although I fucking hated that because of who he beat. And that's the thing I think that you need to keep in mind. It's like, who did they beat for the title? What was the story going into that? Who were they about to lose it to? Does it make sense for them to only be champion for 6 weeks or something? Like that kind of thing. I think that matters. Stories matter rather than just like making this person champion, then this person, then this person, then this person. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it does. I'm with it. I'm in that same boat too, but I do like having one person that's like that's the champ, like that's the champ. And right now, I don't see anyone being that guy.
Yeah. Wrong comment. I'm not exactly turning on Cody. I'm just like,
it is funny how it's funny like Cody, like the Cody like fan, and you're like, God, he's so squeaky clean. Like, just be a little.
Though,
like,
and I say that
it's so like, funny. Yeah,
him and Cena are like the only ones that I like tolerate for the most part being squeaky clean. But otherwise, it just pisses me off. Like, I don't like it.
You've seen them be a bad boy.
I see them be bad boys. I know people talking about, I can't wait to see heel Cody Rhodes again. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't even know what you're talking about. You didn't even care when he was around as a heel. So
listen, I have watched many a compilation of Cody Rhodes heel run, heel remarks. Holy shit, man. We can't have that in WWE. That's never gonna happen. Did you see the clip of him telling some girl who was gonna fight Brandy in a match? And he was like, hey, no, I'm not letting this match happen. All right. And he pulls out a 20 out of his pocket and goes, here, this is for you. This is $20 more than they were gonna pay you.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know there were no limits to what they used to be like
so
what he did.
Good. You're not gonna see that even in Netflix age. So.
I don't know if this is too brutal of an answer, and I know this is probably not the one you're looking for, but I don't give a fuck what Roman does at Mania. I don't care one bit. I did not want to see him versus Seth anyway, because I don't want Roman to win, especially if Seth was the champion. No, I don't want to see another title reign from Roman Reigns ever again. Never. Nope. And I don't think he should, honestly. Especially if he's going to be retiring next year. I don't.
What if Roman walked out the Usos to Mania? What if he just didn't have to wrestle, but he was just there?
I don't think he should do that because he would be taking away from their spotlight. Because he would have his own entrance where he's, God after them. No. Nah. No. I don't want to see. If Roman is in a match against Braun Breaker, fine. For the title, sure, as long as he loses. I don't care. I don't think we're going to have Roman around that long. I think his contract is up next year. So I guess maybe they could.
No, I think, Sarah, I think this might be like Roman's end. Like Roman does this, like because Roman's fighting it out.
He probably is, but I do think that he maybe only signs on until like Mania 40s.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense, especially coming from the final boss's mouth that he will face Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. I don't think if it doesn't happen then, it is never fucking happening.
I don't think that it's going to happen in Saudi either, though.
Then it's never fucking happening.
I know, but I think we need to accept that. To me, this is the thing. If The Rock looks like what he does right now, right, where he's lost like 60 pounds or whatever the fuck happened.
Looks like O2 Rock. He does look like O2 Rock.
No, he's a skinny. I don't take roids anymore. Rock. That's what he looks like right now. And he's already like dealing with heart problems allegedly. And he's like in his 50s already. It's very hard for me to imagine that in another year and a half, he's going to be willing to get back in the ring. And of all places, Saudi Arabia. Like, I don't see it. If he wouldn't do it this year, I I don't know. I'm not. I don't. I guess I'm gonna believe it when I see it type of person. I just don't think we're gonna see it. But anyway, moving on to Dom had a match for the Intercontinental Championship against Penta. And I think we kind of knew that this was going to happen, that he was going to retain. But it was interesting that they had Rusev be the one to essentially help him retain the title. And then we find out that they are going to have a match for the title again next week. So does that mean that he's losing the title to Rusev?
No, I don't think he's losing the title at all. I think this is just a feud that Dom needs to have. I don't think. I think we're thinking way too far into this, and it's more of a Rusev Penta feud than a Rusev and Penta going after the Intercontinental Championship and who's winning.
Well, isn't this kind of weird though? Like putting Rusev against Dom. Like, are you trying to get Dom heat? And it's not going to work when you're against Rusev. Like, people are going to cheer for Dom. So, I'm not really sure about this feud, other than them trying to, I guess, get people to care about Rusev. But I feel like the way that they brought Rusev in, people didn't care. Like, they didn't care. So I don't know that they're going to care now. And I'm sorry, people did not really care about having Rusev back. They were just all nostalgic about Rusev Day. They didn't like legitimately care about having Rusev back though. So
I like Rusev being back.
Do you? Because you don't talk about him.
There's no reason to right now. He's doing a great job. He's just kicking ass. He's feuding with Penta. He's doing fine. He's on TV.
They think that he's gonna win.
No.
I don't know.
Unless, and here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this now, but as Raw concludes on my television screen and with what we know, he could, so that Dom could be launched into the world title picture.
I just don't know that we're gonna see that. I mean, that's
I'd be fine if that's your plan and he's done with the Intercontinental Championship and we're just sending him to the world title. Nope. Fine.
Remember, he's the world champion in AAA. That just means that he's probably going to spend more time over there, or we'll see more AAA talent on Raw to deal with Dom.
Fine.
So I don't know that they'll move him up yet. I also don't know that they'll move him over to the world title picture if Seth is legitimately injured. Because they probably have no fucking idea what they're gonna do, like they probably do not have a plan yet.
Oh, they're definitely working that out as we speak.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I don't know. It feels like there are 3 titles on the line next week, on Raw. So it feels like we're bound to have at least one title change, and it could be the IC title. I don't know. I mean. I don't know. Out of the 3, that's the one I would prefer the most. But we'll see. Anyway, so after Io and Rhea got the win at Crown Jewel, which I think most of us predicted, the Kabuki Warriors are obviously not letting them go. And this is continuing. But I feel like, as much as we all love this, and I'm not taking anything away from it, I just wanted to have a different conversation about it, because what else can we say? It was entertaining. They had a great match. This feud is cool, whatever. I really do think that one of the best parts about this is that Kairi Sane, I'm not saying that she's necessarily going to be like a women's champion or like a main eventer, but she is going to benefit the most from this feud, which is exciting. Because I think she deserves it. Obviously working this close with Asuka, she's going to eventually turn on Asuka. When that is, I don't know, but that pop is going to be loud. The fact that she's working with 2 of the top women also against Io and Rhea is going to be great. So I'm excited to see what happens with Kairi, because she's really good, and I don't think she gets enough credit.
She doesn't at all. I completely agree. Not taking away from it, but the ending of Raw is coming, and I want to watch it again because I want to get a reaction for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting. So nothing. Nothing. It's on, the things are there. You get the watermarks, and then boom, he just spears him.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I do like about that is that feels very like Seth Rollins-y. You know what I mean? That's something that Seth would do. So like I kind of like that. So it's like it kind of does show you in a way that the vision was purposeful, because to me the way that Braun decided to go about this is exactly how Seth Rollins would have done it. So it's like he learned firsthand about how to put
Yeah.
yourself first and get what you want. And so it's like I feel like in a way Seth is going to be mad, obviously, because his group is disbanding or whatever, but he's also going to respect it and be like, you know what? Okay, when I was your age, I would have done the exact same shit.
He would have. Look at how Braun Breaker is like. It's his. Like, this is what everything about this in the moment is great. The issue now comes is what's next?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Cena heel turn. It was, all time. It's probably it's in the top 3 of greatest heel turns of all time. But when it comes to heel runs,
yeah.
What the fuck? No, it's
well,
not
and that's what
3.
I'm worried about, because I feel like, I mean, and they kind of told us anyway that the decision to turn Cena heel was kind of last minute, that it wasn't something that they had thought about for months in advance, that it was just kind of like something they decided randomly. And so I'm a little bit nervous about how they're going to go about dealing with Seth's injury, if it is legitimate and if he has to relinquish the title. Because I also didn't love how they handled it with Naomi in the women's world title. I didn't really like how they dealt with that either. So it just makes me a little bit nervous, because it's like, it feels like they don't come up with very good ideas when they actually, like, when they're crunched on time. But it's like, they just found out on like Saturday night, right? Like, oh, it's not, his shoulder's not looking good. And it's like, now you're going to have over a week to figure this out. And we're probably going to still see some bullshit next Monday, you know? And I'm like, I hate that.
I'm telling you right now that lasting image of them two, and like they're going to run. Like, holy shit.
People are not giving enough credit to Bronson Reed. Okay. My sister,
oh no, he's very much.
We're rubbing off on my sister so much, because like a lot of the people that I decided that I'm like, oh my god, I love this person, she's decided that she loves them too, and she loves Bronson Reed. And I was just like, I know,
the tribal thief.
I know. And I'm like, I know, because she was like, he's so good, he does all this, look at this, and blah blah blah, like he's such a big dude, but he does this. I'm like, I know. I've been telling you.
When he's Jonah, she should look up Jonah when he was him. Oh my god,
so good. Anyway, so we kind of spoke about Roman Reigns.
I have nothing to say.
Okay, well, he lost to Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel, and people were not thrilled about it, because they felt like the Australian street fight wasn't very street fighty. I feel like we kind of could have predicted that, because I think Roman is still in the middle of like filming. So like he's not going to get into like a super brutal match. And that's the thing, is like there was no point in making it a street fight if they weren't going to utilize the fact that it was a street fight, as like at least to an extent that you felt like it. But I don't feel like this was a feud that warranted a street fight yet. So I don't know. I wasn't into it from the beginning anyway. But anyway, at the end, he spoke to the Usos, you know, whatever. But the main thing that he said was, I don't want to see you guys until after Christmas. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that he won't be at Survivor Series. He will be at Survivor Series. I don't know. There's been plenty of rumors suggesting that he will be at Survivor Series and that he will be on one of the War Games teams. I do not know. But I mean, he said, I don't want to see you guys until after Christmas. That would, I would assume that means he's not going to be around until after Christmas. Because like, if he's on Raw, is he just going to try really hard to avoid the Usos? I don't know how that would work. So he could be MIA again, ruining another storyline. But hey, now he
Zarya
can't lead a faction.
Zarya and Sol Ruka are on my screen. Like, what do you?
After November, the November one, or after the December one?
What if Roman is Seth? I mean, Cena's.
Yeah, when he said I don't want to see you until after Christmas, signals that the Usos won't be in it either. I think that in War Games is going to be different, because it seemed like it was going to be the Vision, like Team the Vision versus like Team Usos or something. But I don't know what that is.
War Games should just honestly be an all-star game at this point.
Well, yeah, because like Final Boss saying War Games should be Roman, Cody, Punk, and LA Knight versus Braun, Reed, and Brock. No, I don't want to see Brock Lesnar on my TV.
What do you think of Brock Lesnar? So you don't want to see Brock Lesnar?
I know. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't hate that.
I don't like Brock Lesnar.
I know you don't, but Brock Lesnar.
I don't know. This is the problem that I have though. Like we've talked about it before with War Games. That my main issue with War Games is that as great as it is, as entertaining as it is, it does not need to be a yearly thing. I think it really needs to be like, does it fit what we're doing this year? Would it make sense to have War Games matches this year? If not, then just make it Survivor Series or even replace it with a different name. You know what I mean? Like if you want to keep Survivor Series now tied to War Games, then whatever. Like I just feel like at this point it's going to be forced on the men's side, because at least with the women it's like, okay, you could have Team Kabuki Warriors versus like Team Rhea and Io. Like that makes a little bit more sense. But it depends on who they add to those teams, because otherwise it doesn't feel like there's that many people that would make sense for those teams. But for the men, if Seth has to be out, I mean, the Vision just turned on him. So it wouldn't make sense for the Vision to be on that team, because you could argue, is Seth a babyface now? His team turned on him, so that would make it seem like he's a babyface, but he's not going to be on the team babyface. So like, I don't know. It feels like the men have a lot of work to do, and they only have 3 weeks, or no, it's more than that. 3 weeks until Saturday night's main event. But yeah, speaking of the Vision though, Bronson Reed did follow up his awesome performance against Roman Reigns by murdering a man on television, by taking down a guy who tried to steal his nickname in Jimmy Uso. And he tsunami Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso came out to try and save his brother. So I guess they're cool again. Whatever was happening with the Usos, they're cool again.
Well, because brothers, they're brothers are always gonna make up.
You know why? Because the superior Uso is Solo Sikoa. Speaking of, how fucking cool are the MFTs?
Yeah, cool. Especially, did you see the face paint?
Yeah, and my dude is back looking jacked as fuck.
Yeah. Your dude's back?
Yeah, Tama Tonga. Talk to him, daddy. You know? But yeah, I really do think that like it's so funny to me to see the reaction to the MFTs coming out with face paint and how people were like, oh my god, they just got so much cooler. Oh my god. I'm like, wait, all they needed was fucking face paint. They're literally doing the exact same shit they were doing before, but you guys are like, wow, the MFTs are so cool.
The MFT's face paint reminded me of
the superior Uso. Uso means brother.
It does in Hawaii.
That's why it was their name. Richard said they needed a facelift. Sure, I think the face paint is cool. I feel like if they went even like full into their culture, like if we kind of saw, you remember when the Usos used to come out and they did their like Samoan dance or whatever, like if we could see the MFTs lean into the Samoan and Tongan culture in that way, I feel like that would be pretty sick too.
I want to see that again.
Yeah, I feel like that would be pretty cool. Sarah, would you be mad if they did MFTs versus Wyatt 6? Kind of, only because I don't know that people would be really interested in that.
Would this Tamina come back? Do we see Tamina join the MFTs?
No, she retired, didn't she?
I don't know if she retired. I
think she retired, I thought.
Really? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, someone bought a box. Got it.
No,
Sorry, I'm watching a card break. At the same time, I'm watching him rip. And someone bought a box for $500. So
wow.
That's how much a single box is. And you're guaranteed 2 autos per box. He got an Uncle Howdy auto.
I didn't think he signs it.
He signs it Bo Dallas.
Okay, that's what those are.
Yeah. Oh my god, can you imagine if it's Naya that joins Team MMTs?
That would fit.
Oh yeah, they could do that. Solo probably recruits Nia to deal with Nikki Cross. God damn it.
Maybe.
Whatever. Anyway, okay. Moving on to happier things. Lyra and Bailey are tag teaming still. But I think what's interesting, because I think that, when we've talked about this partnership feud, whatever it is interesting because of what they're trying to accomplish with Bailey. But I think they added like an even more I don't know. I hate to keep using the same words, but like an interesting factor into it, because it feels like Lyra might be a little bit more aware of what's going on with Bailey because it feels like she's trying to help her like focus and get into her right mind, like remind her who she is. And I think that that's really cool. Actually, I feel like that is an interesting. I'm sorry, I use that word again. Like a twist in the story, because you kind of were like, all right, where's this going to go? Are we going to see, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with Bailey, where like 1 week she's cool with Lyra, the next week she's not, or even like in the middle of a match or something. But we didn't really know what the end game was going to be with Bailey because we see the change of personality. But I feel like Lyra kind of helping her get back to like the Bailey that we all know and love. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of cool.
It is. It. Remember what I said weeks ago about the Tatum Paxley friendship that she had?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I meant by the long-term, like storytelling and the details
Mm-hmm.
of the current wrestling right now, and how wrestling fans are a lot smarter. And
Mm-hmm.
Lyra did this already with Tatum Paxley, who was
Right.
the most
Yeah.
frantic, schizophrenic character,
Mm-hmm.
and helped her find a friend. And then they both went their separate ways. Tatum found a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then Lyra is now dealing with someone who's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and is learning how to deal with that. But it's not just some like random person or random wrestler in the locker room that went cuckoo. It's a legend,
Mm-hmm.
and she understands that. So she wants to help her. And it's a different story that Bailey can go down and do something new and fresh with her
Yeah.
career that isn't the same old song and dance recycled of team with this person or go for this title. Like, no, it's something new and a new story that like could lead her to more opportunities for different things. You never know.
And it's a different story of like, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but maybe they eventually turn on each other, or maybe they end up being the newest like random tag team. I don't know. It's like it's kind of different because, I almost wouldn't be mad if they even stole some ideas or something from NXT and brought them to the main roster, because some of the stories that they do down there is like so much different than what they've been doing on the main roster. And I'm like, all right, that would work. Instead of doing the typical, I mean, even as much as people were enjoying what happened with the Vision in the main event, right? We all knew that was coming. We just didn't know when, because it's the same song and dance that they've always done. We form a faction. Eventually somebody's going to turn on somebody. You just don't know how, and you don't know when. So if you can kind of have something like that be a little bit different, I mean, it could even be that Lyra and Bailey don't ever turn on each other, but at least it's a little bit different than what we've typically seen,
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's interesting. Again, interesting. God damn it. I need to like find a thesaurus.
I've thought about just taking 10 minutes of every day and just reading a dictionary.
Yeah.
Just to find new words. I say the same shit all the time.
I mean, I do that like when with writing, like I will go and be like, okay, what are words that I use a lot? Like buzzwords or whatever. I'm like, what could I use instead? Because you don't want to keep using the same words that you use all the time or that other people are using, so it's like I try to do that, but you get into habits, whether it's like you're saying it or if you're typing, you tend to just go back to what so
yeah.
But anyway, the feud between AJ Styles and with Dragon Lee against the Judgment Day is continuing. Obviously they were really focused more so on some other tag teams, but or Dominic Mysterio, but it looks like we're moving on from that. And next week, we're going to see AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day for the tag team titles. So these are the second titles that are going to be on the line next week, because we know that the Intercontinental title will also be on the line. I would not be surprised if we see a title change here. And I kind of hate it, if we're being honest. I think Judgment Day get a bad rap because it's like, oh, they don't ever defend their titles. Who do you think's making that decision? I hate when it gets put on Finn and JD. Like, people have this warped perception that like wrestlers determine when or how often they defend their titles. So like that pisses me off, and I know that I'm biased, but like it's just so stupid because they don't dictate that. There's no way that Finn and JD are like, yeah, we don't want to wrestle this month. You know, like they would be defending the titles a hell of a lot more also if they had house shows, because they would be defending them at the house shows every single weekend, but they don't do house shows anymore. So could you see AJ and Dragon Lee winning the tag titles?
No, weirdly.
So?
Like,
why?
Because I have a feeling that it's. I feel like Division wants the gold. I think
yeah,
Division
but they're not going to if they're going to have Braun go for the main title.
They could. You know? They still could. I legitimately, I think it's time for Division to just take all the gold.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could see them doing this well, how many heel tag teams are there even? I guess they have Judgment Day, the New Day.
Well, the New Day is still grieving, I think.
I know, but they could finally go for the titles again. But
I think enough time has passed in the grieving stage.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like I think they're the only heel tag teams on Raw that a babyface. Oh, the War Raiders are baby faces though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It almost feels better for it to be a heel. Oh, Los Americanos. The Creeds, yeah.
Yo. If Los Americanos.
Oh my god.
Fuck, I know. You asked me, do I think Dragon Lee and AJ Styles? No. It's gonna be Los Americanos are going to be tag team champions. And Dom is gonna have to decide. Yes. That's a story. How? I don't know. Make it happen. That's something I want to see.
All right.
Because then there's some turmoil there with Judgment Day, Dom, El Grande, the El Grande Americano.
I mean, I guess it would work if it's like if Finn and JD lose their titles, but Dom retains. Because then he would be the only one in Judgment Day with the title.
Like something there.
I mean,
Sarah,
I don't know.
Josh Briggs is facing Matt Cardona in NXT.
Fuck Josh Briggs, dude.
What is wrong with you?
He is a caw. He is the epitome of a caw made by like a 13-year-old boy. And he's like, look at this guy. He looks really cool. And he looks like a total loser. That's what he is. He is a guy that will never do anything on the main roster, though.
He's literally something. No, he's
not.
Something.
I guarantee you, he will not.
Maybe Josh Briggs doesn't, but like I don't know. Maybe like Big Josh. I don't.
Okay. Anyway,
there's something there. All right.
Maybe. So we did get a little backstage segment with Stephanie Vaquer and with the women of Judgment Day. And they kind of made it seem like Raquel and Roxanne are going to go after the women's title, but it seemed like a little bit more favoring Roxanne. How do you feel about that?
Roxanne?
If Roxanne goes after Stephanie.
Yes, that should happen. That absolutely should happen.
Do you not think it's too early? Because she's another one that people are saying is too early.
No.
I mean, people are also saying it about Stephanie. People are saying that she's being...
Everyone's saying it's too early.
They're saying that Stephanie is being treated like the big dog Roman Reigns, where she's being shoved down her throat. And I'm like, I feel like you guys are just not a fan.
If you're complaining about Stephanie Vaquer being on weekly television every week and being your champion, you need to start reevaluating your life. I'm sorry.
I think
that's why.
It's just crazy. I mean, I understand, I guess, like, if you're not a fan. I mean, I don't really know what there would be to dislike about Stephanie. I mean, I guess she's not the best at promos, but also English isn't her first language. So like, I'm not going to hold that against her. But she's fantastic in the ring. Great presentation. Like, I don't know. She genuinely loves wrestling.
It's
I don't know. I don't know what there is to dislike. And I feel like her versus Roxanne would be absolute fire. So
that's real girl graps right there.
Yeah. And I think I don't know. I feel like that's something that people could be excited about. I mean, this is the thing that we've kind of talked about this in general. Where, I mean, other than, people being fickle, whatever, but it feels like people pick and choose when they get upset about something, right? It's like, okay, some people's argument with someone like Jey Uso, right? It's like, well, he's so entertaining. I love him. Like, oh my gosh, this is what we need on Raw. But people would be like, well, he sucks at wrestling, right? But it's like, okay, well, he's super entertaining, so that's what I like. But then the other people will be like, well, he sucks at wrestling. And then you have somebody like Stephanie Vaquer, who might not be the most entertaining in the same way as Jey Uso, but she's really good at the ring, and yet people still complain. And it's like, so then what do you want, or what do you value? Because there are only so many wrestlers that are going to give you both. I mean, legends like Rey Mysterio, never good on the mic, fantastic in the ring. But like, can't you kind of look past that? Like, because he's so good, it's like, I don't know. I think people, they pick and choose when they care about something.
Convenient.
You know what I mean?
It's convenient. When it's convenient for them, they will.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's annoying. But we already talked about this a little bit earlier. We can talk about it again. But
Yay, it's
CM Punk versus Jey Uso to determine the number one contender. It was just the two of them, right?
What? No, CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight.
LA Knight, okay. That's right. I didn't actually watch Raw, guys. I was going off of the cliff notes, so I don't know. But admitting this an hour into the show. But anyway, Punk became the official number one contender, which I do think is somewhat, I don't know. I wonder if that was the plan the whole time, or they had to adjust because of Seth's potential injury.
Good point.
It feels like this very well could have been in the plans the entire time, because obviously there was this like ongoing argument between these three dudes about who really is the number one contender, or who is the rightful next in line to challenge for the world heavyweight title. However, I do think the timing of determining like a number one contender, if Seth is really injured, is an interesting way to go about it, because it feels like, okay, if you don't even know yet if Seth can or can't wrestle, and so that means that he might have to relinquish the title. Is it really smart to determine a number one contender then? It doesn't feel like a good idea, because they very easily could have had Seth, if they have to. Seth relinquishes the title. They have a triple threat for the world heavyweight title with these three dudes. What would have been wrong with that? Instead, Seth might have to relinquish the title, and then we have to revisit this argument again. Because it's like, well, CM Punk is the number one contender, but in order to get that title, he's going to have to face somebody, and like, who's it going to be? And it's like, then we're going to have to visit this bullshit again. And it's going to be like, who's it going to be between LA Knight and Jey Uso? I don't know. This is why it feels like they kind of just like threw this together and didn't think about it completely. Richard says, I think Punk is winning was always the plan, so they could get Seth versus Punk 3 out of the way. Yeah, I just don't know I guess, but Seth can't go, I would assume. I think if Seth's shoulder is really messed up, that he's going to have to forfeit it. Especially if it is like his rotator cuff and like other things.
Yeah,
he can't, he won't. It's not like a muscle tear.
He's got to get surgery. He got to get surgery. He's done.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna have to forfeit, which really sucks. Two forfeits in 1 year, that really sucks. In like a month, in 2 months.
I know.
That really sucks. All right, before closing it out, we also know that there will be another title match next week. We're going to have a rematch between, well, like a third rematch, I guess. Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This one has me nervous, honestly. I don't think that we're going to have like 3 title changes on Raw. I feel like that would be absolutely wild. I also think it would be a giant mistake for them to have Maxine Dupree win the IC title.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't.
The thing is people are already throwing out AJ Lee returning to help her win, and I'm like, please do not fucking do that. Do not do that. Like, Maxine, you did great last week, and girl, I wanted to root for you, but you should absolutely not be the Intercontinental.
If anyone, it would be. No, I feel like it would be anything. If anything, it's building to a Natalia Intercontinental run where we get to see her be Natty Neihart. Like that's if the in the ideal world, Maxine gets her friggin' ass beat. Like ass beat. And Natalia can't sit aside and watch this happen any longer. So then she transforms into Natty Neihart and just goes on a dominant reign as Intercontinental Champion. That's what I want to see. But
well,
who am I?
The chat doesn't agree with us.
The chat.
Yeah. Richard says I can see Becky lose the title. It's in Maxine's hometown, and Becky's mind would be on Seth's injury. I guess. Jackson says I think that Maxine does what Gable did to Gunther, and she wins by a count out again. Final Boss says that she could win, but doesn't have to have a long reign. Yeah, except I don't know. I feel like they're trying to. They gave the title to Becky to like elevate the women's IC title, and I feel like giving it to Maxine is kind of taking a step back. But. And I don't mean that in any mean way.
No, but just it should be a title for Workhorse, and I don't know if she's there yet.
This is what Richard said. Richard agrees. I think Maxine wins but becomes a transitional champion, and it'll cause Natty to turn on her again. But who's interested in that? I don't know. I guess we'll see. There's a chance that 3 titles change next week. I think that's wild. But yeah, that was Raw.
That was Raw. And that's the only time you can see the both of us this week.
I'm going to be gone this weekend. So I leave on early Friday morning. So I cannot record again this week because I have a lot of work to do before I leave.
Which is sad. We are not going to be able to see. We're not going to have the Super Show on, unfortunately. But that's okay, Sarah, because I got some things cooking. I'm feeling a little extra good, you know. Boom! Don't forget about this, Sarah. Friday, October 16th. Wait. 17th. The NWF goes to twitch.tv/Nonsense Sports Network, making their debut. Your brand versus mine. Sarah, if corporate's calling me saying if you don't get your card in, then they're booking it themselves. So give you something to do on the plane right there.
For the champions, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Champions. At least, yeah, give me your champions because they said if you give them your champions and title, then they will take care of everything.
Alrighty.
So it's nice that they are giving you that treatment, and I have to book everything. But that's what a champion does. That's what the captain does. That's what the captain does here.
Oh, so. I also want to tell the chat too that I bought another superstar from a card ripper, and I got a Solo Sikoa autograph. So your girl is furthering her love for Solo Sikoa. You know, just want to let y'all know. So I will be insufferable when that arrives in the mail.
Can't wait.
And it's on card, so it's better. It's not a sticker auto, which is cool.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Yeah, Becky's wasn't either. I also ordered a Seth one, so Seth's coming in the mail also. I think Seth's on card too, but I don't know. Anyway,
that was Raw. We'll be back for that on Friday. Please go check that out. 6:00 Eastern Time, Nonsense Sports Network, twitch.tv/Nonsense Sports Network. is where you'll be able to see that. And if I'm feeling it, I'm feeling like it because I want to talk about TNA. I want to watch TNA, do a watch along here on Thursday in place of the Super Show. Very low key. And by low key, I mean different background, different chair. I might be relaxing. All right. Might be playing a little nonsense sports, professional sports over at the Nonsense Sports Network myself. You never know. That's what we're doing here. The No Nights Off. We're trying new things and keeping the shit moving while Sara goes and enjoys her favorite band, get some time away, relax, Sara. Everyone earns it. All right.
I'm excited.
So
I'm excited because I'm staying on the strip and I never have before. So
go for it, Sara. Have a blast. Hold down here and yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. We'll see you in the latter half of the week. You can do it. Tune in.